420, 420, for 20 long years. I smoked lots of reefer and drank lots of beer. Every day at 420, we're gonna settle the score. And for 20 long years, it's been 20 past 4.
Hello, welcome to 420 Live. I'm Jeff Kravitz, your host for an hour, maybe. We'll see how long I can last. We get to see what my staying power is today. I'm happy that you're here, whoever's here. Stop screen share. That was my song. You like the song? I actually had a request on one of my YouTubes on who the song is from. The 420 Live theme song is from Vince Herman. Vince is a good friend of ours. He's in the band called Leftover Salmon, and we interviewed him about a month or so ago, and he wrote the song for us right live on the air, and I picked it up, and I've been using it ever since without his permission. So thank you, Vince. I appreciate it. And what a day, what a life, what a year 2021 has been so far. If you're paying attention to the news today, they got impeachment proceedings started on the president that is leaving office in 9 days. So let's just say that they want to shut the door on the past. They want to move into the future, but they can't let this guy come back. Because if you know what happened, if you follow history at all, we're kind of like pre-Nazi Germany 10 years before Hitler came in, or Hitler was in. He got booted out, and then 10 years later, he came back stronger and won again. In 10 years, Donald Trump with his diet and the way he's going, and we'll be lucky to be alive. But if he is still alive, and we think that we're going to elect an 83-year-old man to come in here and shit on us once again, I think everybody's up for a rude awakening. That's not going to happen, folks. So hello, Mark Joseph out there. Hello, Rebecca, everybody tuning in. If you saw what happened with Parler, this has been fascinating, because not only did it get taken off of Google and Apple and then off of the Amazon Web Services, AWS, so that it has nowhere to live, but before it went down, it was vulnerable to hack. And they went in there and they hacked enough data. Everybody that's ever been on Parler, posted on Parler, deleted something on Parler, created a Parler account, a verified account, which required you to take a picture of the front and the back of your driver's license. And now they have all this information, and they're about to unleash it. Or I guess they have to collect it first, and then they're going to unleash it. But they're going to have a list of everybody out there who's been talking shit about our country and revolting against our country. And I just don't really know where to begin today, because there's just so much in my brain, and I'm trying to piece it together to get the onion unpeeled. But I guess the biggest I want to unleash the Kraken today. I guess the biggest thing that I'm looking at is how this is unfurling, how it's going to be in all the states. Everybody, they're going to be protesting everywhere. The boogaloos are coming for us, if you believe what's going on and what the FBI is saying. The travesty of what we saw happen in Washington, the fact that now we're hearing, I mean, the guy who's in charge of the police for the Capitol called off over 6 times. He called in for help, and he tried to get help to come in 2 days before, and this guy had to resign. I don't understand why he's the one resigning. I think we should be resigning at the higher levels of the National Guard and all the people that didn't listen to this guy. Because let's face it, he deserved to be listened to. The Q people are stepping right up. It is pretty amazing that not only would you go in and trespass onto federal property, but damn sure to get yourself a selfie in there and tag all your friends that are with you and take your mom. The one guy from Tennessee with the zip ties is in a picture with his mom. And he looks so foreboding, like you see him coming over that railing. And then now, as everything comes out, you're like, he's this foreboding guy in black with the mask and the zip ties that took his mom to the rally. Well, let's face it. Let's face it, folks. Idiots are in control. You see what's happening now. It's kind of, what did I see today? The revolution is in some pretty piss poor hands. But you could the transgression that happened, the fact that there was no help called in, the fact that these people were just left there hanging, help. We need help. 6 times they called. And to think that there's no kind of protocol for our federal buildings. Why? What's the protocol when something goes down? Is there a protocol? Are we spending $2 billion a day, $750 billion our defense budget? Are we spending $2 billion a day on not knowing how to protect our buildings and not knowing what to do when somebody comes in? I mean, is there a plan? What are they doing in the Pentagon? What is just beyond me where all this money goes? It's why probably defense is one of the first budgets I would cut and cut and cut, because they're not defending anything. They're just getting richer and richer and richer. It's all these contractors getting rich. Hello, Diana. Good to see you, Diana Hall. Bengus, it is scary times. I'm scared. I mean, I'm sleeping at night. I don't have any problem sleeping. I don't think they're coming to my front door. And if they do, we're in a lot of trouble. I'm kind of hidden in the nooks and crannies here in LA. I'm not out there for all you guys to see. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open up the floor today and invite you guys to come in. I'm going to post a link, much to my better judgment, right here in the comments. And if you want to come in and chirp in and say something, the StreamYard comment right there will lead you into a little box. And then once you're in, you can, it looks like it's not working on Periscope, but if you're on Periscope and you come on to, did not get your comment, it was probably filtered. Anything looks like spam. Okay. So if you want to come on and comment, copy and paste this StreamYard link. You have to activate your camera, your microphone, and then it'll put you into a waiting room. And then you can join the discussion. I don't care what the topic is. We could talk about anything you possibly want. If you saw in Spain, they did a control group concert where people went in and they tested everybody before they came in. And then nobody got sick. Actually, the people got sick in the control group. So what do we do if the crazy rightist tweakers start getting lists of registered Democrats and they start coming after us? Yeah, what do we do? I don't know. What I would do is start maybe peeing and pooping in buckets all over your house and then line them up on the roof. And then when everybody comes, you just dump them. So, yes, I saw that. I saw Elton John and Anthony Fauci today saying that shows are coming back this year. Unbelievable. It was a mass delusion event. They really think the president called them to act. Well, that's their defense now, Todd. My good friend Todd Lewis, my roommate back in college. That is part of the problem, is that they're saying that this was endorsed, that our president went ahead and said, come to Washington, fight for your right, get in there, go to the Capitol. And they are kind of right. He did invite them. I believe in some cases sent buses to get people, collecting people to bring them in. So I don't know. Listen, one thing I never want to be is president, because I don't want to have to answer to everybody. I don't want to have to be called for doing the right thing. King is really good. I would do King. I would do Joker, Ace, Jack of Hearts, anything in the deck I would be. So I'm here to serve. Whistle Monster is buying some dank nugs. Well, that is one way to get through this. What we're seeing right now is to keep yourself fully medicated. And fortunately, cannabis is a essential product in most of our lives. I actually have some right here that, since you brought it up, it is 1:30 here in LA, but 4:30 for all you guys out there. I still got this little tiny roach of Jerry Garcia. Billy Nathan was our guest on Friday. He's the grower behind the Green Lantern, and I can't wait to get his special sample pack, because this is the goods, and no facility here. This is just a little glass filter. I know I did the facility noodle that my friends from 710 are doing. This is the Garcia handpicked Green Lantern. Absolutely delicious. Zaps my brain of everything I want to say. So good for you guys. He would, if you're president, I would reattach phones to walls. Interesting thing about phones that I read today was that inside the Capitol, They have sensors all over the place that triangulate where you are and who's in there, and uses your cell phone signal to log in. Everybody that's kind of there gets logged in because you've come into this geo-territorial area with your phone, and it mocks everybody. So everybody that walked into that building, their information has been taken off their phone, and they're on a list now. They have everybody. They have everybody's phone number. That all those people, you saw the thousands of people that ran into that building. I mean, one thing that's happening with this whole thing is every day, as we see more footage, as more is uncovered, we watch that poor cop get beat to death by a flagpole in front of the Capitol. I mean, all these people are going to go down. They're all going to be caught, and we're going to get them all. The question is, what are the charges? What are they going to hold them for? What are they going to put them in? You know, so. Oh, you got the Green Lantern in a matchbox, huh? Very nice, huh? What do you think of that Green Lantern there, Leroy? Leroy Mitchell, Whistle Monster, one of the number one fans there in New Orleans. The New Orleans Saints yesterday won their wild card game and are going to the next level. And we saw some great games. Shout all my Steelers fans out there. I'm really sorry that you got your ass handed to you. What was it, the Cleveland Browns? Ooh. And how many games? 11 games they won. I don't really, like to slag on people's sports selections. Support everyone. I was an Eagles fan for years before they came even close. Well, they got close a couple times, 1980. But so a mass delusion event. They really think the president called them to act. So now they have all their phone numbers. Now they have all the information off of Parler that these people have been giving them. That the hackers have gone in and are just downloading it. Do you know what SETI is? The search for extraterrestrial life. It's where they are bringing in so much information. You can have a SETI screensaver on. So when you're not using your computer, it's searching for intelligent life out there, helping the SETI organization bring all this information because they need many computers. It's like a computer group share kind of thing. Well, they're doing the same thing with all this information out of the Parler app, that there's so much they have. They have all the deleted posts. They have all the accounts. If you wanted a verified account on Parler, you had to use your driver's license front and back to get that account. And they took that information. They have everything. We're going to have a list of all these people that have been plotting and planning for years. Question is, what do they do with it? And let's face it, marijuana is becoming legal. There's going to be a lot of room in our prisons once they let all those prisoners out to put in all these insurgents and these transgressions. And education is probably what's lacking the most in our country. We don't have, you saw what Betsy Davos or whatever the hell her name is, has done for the past 4 years, shitting all over our education system. What the fuck? You can't have stupid people in our country. You have to have basic human rights and basic human knowledge and basic truths and understanding, and the crazy uncle that used to be sitting on the couch and get drunk too much and then talk out his ass is now everybody in the house. So it's no longer the crazy uncle. Hello, Mary Jane. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got a lot of new fans from the Noel Kassler show. Noel was our guest last Thursday, and that show is starting to shatter records. Watching the over 21,000 people watched it on Twitter, on Periscope, and we're over 12,000 on YouTube. And I cannot believe watching the trajectory on the analytics just go up, because sometimes I feel like I'm sitting here talking to myself, like I am, and you're like, who's watching? How do people tune in? What really lights people's fires? And for me, I was thinking that it would be the music and stuff that would light people's fires, the cannabis talk and all this, but it's the news that people are really interested in. Is what's happening now, because we need perspective on what's happening out there in the space, because there's so much coming at us. And where is the common sense coming from? Where are the people that have a noggin? Oh, wait, it sounds a little hollow. I think I can hear an echo in there. Thank you, Rick. Hey, listen, if you can't tune in, don't worry. We're there on Memorex. And if you missed Noel Kassler's show on Thursday, you definitely want to catch up on that, because he's the man, the myth, the legend. And Zorn, our buddy in the UK, Abbey Road Studios, taking our pictures. Sorry, it's just me today. You're taking a picture of an orange shirt, so you can probably wrap it up kind of early. Joe Madonna, why doesn't Fish play one of those empty baseball stadiums? They could do a live concert stream 6 to 8 feet apart. Well, Joe, they just did this experiment in Spain. If you didn't see the article that's going all over, you should see it, because it's all about how they let people into a venue and they could go wherever they wanted. There was places to drink and smoke, and they were in there for 5 hours. And most people spent 2.5 hours listening to music and bands. And then they came up with a consensus that if you wear a mask and you go and you're tested before you go in, you will not get sick. So this is good news, but also who's brave enough to experiment with that in America, and which bands are. And the one thing we know about our band Fish is that they love people and they love crowds, and they want to be able to feed off the crowds there. So I think it's everybody in the band has to be along with it. So I appreciate it. Whistle, come on, Whistle Monster. We're family. I can't wait. Actually, I got a couple leaked dates there for, all I got to say is it looks like in the fall, we're going to spend a lot of time down there in New Orleans. So watching Diaper Donnie go down is beautiful. Well, yes, it is, but it's also at the expense of our country, which isn't beautiful. So I wish he would have had the wherewithal to go out on the first round of impeachment. I think that would have been the best thing for the country if everybody knew he was a fascist back then. It's not like a year ago we didn't know who this guy was. We could see it. All the Republicans knew it, but they also knew that he was keeping them in. But they were really short-sighted, because if the Republicans would have figured out a year ago that if they dumped Donnie, like, look, we have a way to get rid of him. We have a way to get him off our back. We could put someone else in. It would let Pence do it, and then we could work on winning the election in 2020, keeping the Senate and keeping the House, and show that, hey, we want to run the country for the best of the country. But no, what they did, they chose the person over the country. And that's where we are now. People choosing a man and a personality, a TV personality, that the only person that he loves is himself. He doesn't care about anyone else. Doesn't care about us. He never did. Fortunately, I grew up in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I'm proud of my birthplace. I'm not proud of what's happened to it over the years. And I'm not proud of what Donald Trump did to it. And I watched him do a lot of damage to my friends and family. And, let's just say that I understood what we're out for. And I think everybody else out there should. So thank you, Mary Jane. We're all in here. I think we all kind of agree. We're all in the same place. High, home. Yes, you're high and you're home. So that's good. You're stoned for 420. Well, that you're in the right place. We're going to speak fire to truth here, because that's all we got. It's all we have. We don't have anything else. All I have is 3 chords and the truth. Bono said that. I actually know a lot more than 3 chords. Anyway, watching, witnessing. This is like unbelievable. And now we have like the finale of the series. You've been seeing that on Twitter a lot. People talking about the finale. Oh boy, the finale for the show America. Wow. Amazing. Who saw that coming? Well, that's not the finale. The finale is going to be the impeachment. The impeachment followed by our swearing in of Joe Biden, who still wants to go out on the steps of the Capitol and get sworn in there in front of everybody and do it outside, and incredibly dangerous with what's going on. But again, it's the kind of thing that we have to do as a country to show that we're stronger than this. And just like they had to go back in the Capitol and name the president by the end of the night. So many of the shows you caught on YouTube are planning to check Noel's show for sure after his first one was so revealing a few months ago. Yes, Noel's first show, over 100 and some odd thousand views. Like, that is my most watched show. So it's kind of like, what's the move? I've actually, Noel's going to be back on. I'm going to call him up and get him on next week, because next Monday is going to be the day. If the State Department actually put up that this Monday is going to be, today is going to be the last day that our president's going to be in office, but next Monday is going to be the 18th. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard. I don't know if to have him on before the inauguration or after, but we want to get him on again because he's got a lot of insight and people really like what he has to say and the way the two of us communicate and connect, which is amazing. The one thing I'm learning is how you connect with your guests. And I've connected with a lot of guests. We are heading into show 200 on Thursday, which makes this show today, I think 197. Oh my Lord, 192. Yeah, 197 today. 197 shows I've done coming to you since March 16th. We are in week 43. We're only 9 weeks away from when we started this pandemic. We are in the last season, the last 2.5, 3 months of coming in. So we'll get it on. Yes, Marina, I know you love Noel. He's fantastic. And then everybody's like, oh, no, you're so cute. Oh, you're so adorable. I love you shaved your beard. I mean, they're the comments I'm seeing under the post. So Noel has a big fan base out there. He's been doing an amazing job. He's a freedom fighter. He's been out there talking about this since day one, unapologetically, puts himself at risk with his NDA, just goes for it. So we appreciate him. And, I'm not going to be here alone all week. On Wednesday, my good friend Pat Asante, the actor, is going to be on the show. He has a new short that he did called $22 Eggs. And we're going to talk to Patsy, old friend of ours, a family friend, and just an amazing actor. He's been in a ton of different shows. You've seen him forever on your screen. On Thursday is our 200th show celebration. So batten down the hatches. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm working on a couple little surprises. And on Friday, we're going to talk to our Chef Royalty. I met him down in St. John, and he's an amazing chef, and he cooks with cannabis, and he's worked in getting all the smell out of the cannabis and the taste. So when you're eating the food, it doesn't even taste like anything. And next thing you know, you're blazado on the couch. Blazado. I don't even know what blazado is. Couldn't have done it without you guys. This wasn't my choice. I felt like I had to communicate, like I had to get this out to be with you. And it was early on. I was like, if I'm not going to have an outlet like my photography to be able to express myself on my Instagram page, can you imagine having social media taken away from you? I think like Twitter was Trump's main way of marshaling his forces and talking to his people, and they've kind of taken it away. I mean, he can go right down the hallway from his office is the press crew in the West Wing. They're all just hanging there waiting for him to come out and talk. He could go and talk to them, and they're the mouthpiece to the world. That's the way it worked for years. The president would go down and talk to the press in his little room down there, and then they would write about it and then send it out. But he just got rid of them all and started communicating through Twitter. And now he doesn't know how to communicate in the old way anymore. And he's banned for life. So that means that he's pretty much gone. He's disappeared. His opinion, no matter what it is, cannot get to us. We don't know how he feels about anything. And this was a guy that was tweeting about everything. Literally, I was sick of seeing it. But one of the things I saw today was watching Jim Cramer talk about stocks. If you're watching the market right now, Bitcoin, I don't even know. I wanted to see where it is right now. I have to look on my Coinbase app here. And because I bought a little bit of Ethereum, like literally a little bit of Ethereum last week. And Bitcoin's at 34,000. So it's still pretty good. It's still at a pretty good price. And, Ethereum is kind of where I bought it at. I bought $250 worth, and it's at $249.53 at $1,000. And that was at the beginning of the week last week. And I watched it go up to almost $300. So you can buy little tiny pieces of Bitcoin. So, and then the market also. Okay, let's see. The comments are rolling in here. Let's check it out. What people are saying. Gary DeFox, Obama Twitter troll of using social media. Yeah, but that wasn't real. That wasn't really Obama. I did share that tweet on my link. It basically said, isn't it amazing to be able to express your opinion, to have social media and communicate with the whole world? And it was Barack Obama's tweet, but it really wasn't him. Julie Joy Allen, Trump, but he must be going through terrible withdrawal. Can you imagine? He's probably like scratching his arms and pacing, and he was yelling like crazy. And you can't go on Shopify. Can't go on Spotify. It means you can't listen to music. Or I guess he can listen, but he can't have a premium account, right? He has to listen to all the ads. Can't go on Snapchat. Can't go on Facebook, Instagram. What was the other ones? Oh, Pornhub. Can't go on Pornhub. Heidi Erickson, the clusterfuck only highlighted everything wrong with our system. Complacency got us here. Stay vigilant, stay informed, keep on dancing, spread the love. The clusterfuck got us here. Trump, this is a theme that I've talked about since I started, and that is maybe Trump is making America great again because our democracy, he's pushing, he's tested it, he's pushing at it. Everything that we know, everything that we love, everything we stood for is he's just sticking pins in it, trying to poke holes in it, and he's getting it thrown back in his face. And now he's going to probably he could end up in jail. I've seen that a lot. So yes, we are not complacent now. We're all at attention and we're all watching and we all want to be involved. The amount of people that had voted in the election this year was totally astounding. Numbers were incredible. We broke all kinds of records. All our fine folks at head count everywhere else. You can do MySpace. And then Tom from MySpace, I saw that could have been a fake tweet too. It was like, see what happened when you left me, all you people. Unbelievable. I think so too. He's got to be. Can you imagine like not being able to communicate? But he has to have a plan. Right now, he's going to sue Twitter. Now he's going to go after everybody because that's the thing to do. Sue Twitter. Sue everybody. I'm going to sue you. My glasses and my shoes. Remember the Jerky Boys? So according to Article 2, somebody said that he can impeach himself or pardon himself. He should impeach himself. He pretty much did impeach himself with everything he's done. I mean, twice. I mean, that phone call, that was grounds for impeachment. Both phone calls, the one to Ukraine and the one to, not just the one to Georgia election officials, the 3, 4, 5, 6 that he's had. That's only one that's been recorded. You know that this is the way Trump talked every time he had a phone call. Hey, you got to do me a favor. Listen, we're going to do this for you, but you got to do me a favor. It'd be really good if you could find something on Hunter Biden for us. Anything. Punitive damages. I want to sue for punitive damages. I'm going to sue. I've been damaged by all this. This has ruined. I think we should start a class action suit against Donald Trump for driving us all fucking crazy the past 4 years. You know, let's face it. We're all worried about everything now, and he's pushed our country to the brink of extinction. Our government, he's testing everything. I think we should all sue Donald Trump. And yeah, I know, Kelly. Poor Sue. Poor Sue. She gets sued too. Sue Donald Trump. I wouldn't know what else to do. You know, how else could he have gone out? He wasn't going out quietly, and it just kind of escalated. He was like a trapped rat in a corner. And as every option started going away, he just started getting more and more agitated about the whole thing until the point where he was just like, come on down. Go fight for me. Let's march down to the Capitol together. I only need 11,770, or was it 1170, or was it 11,780? He gave me PTSD. See, our nerves are shot. I think that we have a agreement here. There you go. That Kush cough. Thank you, Green Lantern. Get Brett Weir. Get me Brett Weir. Where is he? My glasses and my shoes. Oh, I hurt myself very badly. He should be deported. Yes, he should, Heidi. Well, he tried to go to Scotland, right? Because where's he going to go for the, what's he going to do the day of the inauguration that he's not going? You know, where's he going to be? Mar-a-Lago? Because they don't want him in Scotland. Scotland was like, no, you can't come here. There's no golf for you. Oh, golf. The PGA pulled their game out of Bedford. Hey, listen, come right to my backyard. You know, I got the Riviera Country Club in my backyard. Do a great job of hosting golf tournaments. Forget Trump. Green Lantern. Yes. I'm correcting you today, Whistle. I'm keeping you honest there. But I also know it's 4:00 in the afternoon there in NOLA, so you're probably just rolling into it. You're ready to hit the 420 in about 30 minutes. He'll find political asylum in Russia. Who knows? Because he's really pushed up against the wall now. I mean, he knows he fucked up. That's one thing that I saw the other day that was probably the truest thing I've ever seen. This guy really knows that he pulled a number on it. It's about time. It's about time he figured out the damage that he's doing. Oh, I went too far this time. Yeah, you did. When they were shitting and peeing in the halls of Congress and spreading it on the walls, they're your supporters. Oh, what was the other thing? He didn't like the way that he thought that the Trump supporters looked low class. He didn't like their fashion or the way they dressed. Well, maybe you should have made some better merch because they were all wearing Donald Trump hats and Donald Trump shirts and Donald Trump flags. That was all your merch, your cheap ass merch you put out there that they were flying around. And you're not happy about that? Too bad. Maybe you should have started the Donald Trump redneck collection at Kmart and people would have been better dressed for your event. The Scotts told him, they called them Scotch. We need to keep an eye on his son and Kimberly. Yeah, because they're going to go through all the cocaine that they brought up from their Colombian connections. Who's higher than Donald Trump Jr.? I mean, I thought I could go for that, but cocaine is not my flavor. Shit does not enhance your personality. Plays on your ego. Messes with your mind. Yeah, I know. I got a lot of friends that like that shit, but not me. I don't like the way it smells. But I'm bump. I gave up cocaine, and now I just drink 40 cups of coffee and burn my wallet. Weed, yeah, we're on the bud here. Hello, Lenny Moranis, eating your ribs. Lenny's been on the plan. You've been on the keto thing. You know what, Lenny? I had to give up the meat. Yes, I said having the inflammation and the gout. I related all to the meat, and I stopped eating the meat. And you know what? I am limber. Look at those fingers. I am ready. Give me a guitar. I'm a lot faster doing the diddle-diddles than I am. But yes, cleaning it up for 2021. I know everybody, we got to think. We're going into the revolution. We want to be looking good in the revolution. Oh, you gave up the meat. Whoa. Because I know how much you like to queue and cook up those chickens. No more. I know. It's tough, huh? Because you get older, your body starts responding in different ways. It's really harsh. It's like, oh, I can't eat these things I like. But I went to Prince Street last night. Prince Street, my friends at Prince Street Pizza getting beat up in the press, not politically correct in some of their posts. A little bit of racism coming out of the guys. The old school Italians, very emotional, very beat up, very, I remember my friends growing up, their dads, the Italian dads, they were really, really racist growing up. I mean, especially in Atlantic City. I mean, that's where it kind of came from. The fact that people are racist in my hometown is because most of their parents and were kind of racist growing up. So it kind of just gets passed down the bloodlines. Regardless, they're not really thinking about Trump. They're just thinking about that kind of stuff. So want to buy a chicken. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Camp Auschwitz, the worst. My daughter told me what it meant the other day. It was 6 million was not enough. 6MEW on the guy's shirt, trying to explain to me 6 million was not enough. I mean, are you kidding me? This is merchandise. People make this stuff. People buy this stuff. The shirts with the Civil War. I mean, the most disgraceful thing I've ever seen in my life. People don't understand. And just because they went for the Jews last time doesn't mean they're going for the Jews again the next time. So, oh yeah, 6. There it is. 6. Yeah, this is some of the most atrocious things I've ever seen in my life is what's come out of this. The amount of hate that has been bubbling up on people's couches the past 4 years and the way they get turned so fast on the people that have kept them in power. What happened to poor Mike Pence? I actually felt bad for Mike Pence. Hearing the hang Mike Pence chants coming from the crowd and then watching him build the gallows and go in there with the zip ties. And then if you saw 60 Minutes, I mean, Leslie Stahl, give me a break. Those questions last night, I kind of wanted to smack her. She just was like pushing all of poor Nancy Pelosi's buttons after what she'd been through all week, instead of trying to get to the crux of what went on in there. And you heard Nancy tell the story of being underneath there, and you could hear the people banging on the doors outside. Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy? Bring her out. We know she's in there. I mean, this had to be the most terrifying times of their lives to hear this, to realize that they were coming after you to kill you. That's why everybody's stepping up and ready to impeach this guy now, because it was all fun and games until they start coming for you, right? It's all great when they're coming for everybody else. Yeah. And then when they're knocking on your door, you have a fucking change of heart. You shit yourself first, probably. I'm sure there was a lot of soiled situations going in there. Those people were in those rooms for hours. And neither can I. But who knows what's going to happen? I got you. I know what you're talking about. I can't wait till the 20th either. So, yeah, the Trump supporters are the law and order party, but what law and what order are they facing? Yes, sad and disgusting. Just, under our skin, and every day this is where we are and what we're living with. And, everybody should stay safe the next week. There's going to be protests in all the cities. No reason to go out there. And I also trying to spin that these were Antifa protesters or BLM protesters. And we found everybody in there without a mask on, everybody that was in that Capitol building. They weren't Team Blue. That was Team Red. Team Blue was on the couch where they belonged, watching the world come down. What's supposed to happen between the 17th and 20th is that there's more protests planned, and in every city in America, pretty much. They want people to go out there and protest. All your homegrown boogaloos are going to come down there. So I don't know what's going to happen, but they want to go after the Capitol buildings. They want to make a point. They want there to be revolution. I mean, how do you think the Civil War would actually work? What would happen? They're going to come for you, and they're going to, like somebody said earlier, they're going to, oh, you voted for, we're going to shoot all the Democrats. 75 million people are going to be what's left of running our country. They're going to get rid of the other 80 million that voted for. It's not, hey, listen, before I thought that there was some kind of sanity in our world, some kind of truth running through the layers, some kind of, like cognitive consciousness, that we all understood what was true, what was right, what was wrong. And then the people that stepped out on society and acted out, and outside of those, they stood out because they would be the murderers or the thieves or whatever and get arrested, hopefully, or, they would do their jail time, the people that would run afoul of the law. Now it's like everybody's afoul of the law. They're going to need all these jail cells are building. And like I said, get rid of those marijuana offenders. Let's put all these what do you call it? Those MAGAs, make America green again. So I'll be safe with sound. Yes. Cabin in the woods sounds great. Somewhere on the beach. Yeah. We get uniforms. Who sides on who? I was actually looking at the Civil War, and the blue versus gray is the way it was. It wasn't blue versus red. Been a lot easier to see in the field if they were red. That was, I guess, the red coats. They didn't want to get them involved. Team Blue has since won the basement, given it as a pandemic that is raging out of control. It's the other thing is that if we're kind of the blue team is kind of the one staying inside, and the red team's out there raging in the clubs. Trump spends more time on his orange makeup than caring about people, and he spends more time trying to fix the election in his favor than trying to deal with a disease that's killing 4,000 people a day. Let's face it, the pandemic hasn't gone anywhere. It's just gotten worse. And now here we are, living it. You want to talk Fish versus Dead? Listen, I love it all. I'll take any music, any concert. I'll go see a band that plays Fish and the Dead at the same time during the same song. How about that? Do mashups. That'll be my new band thing. Fish and Dead, because we play Fish and Dead songs. I love playing both those band songs. They're both fun. So I am down. I am down for all of it. You bring it right along. I just want to see some music. I mean, ultimately, this is keeping us from seeing concerts, all of this pandemic, this revolution. I mean, don't these people understand that we have places to see, we have drugs to eat? I mean, how long are they going to stay in my fridge and my freezer? How good are they? Actually, the stuff stays pretty good. Yeah, no opposing sides. It shouldn't be Fish versus Dead, Gary. It should be Fish and Dead. I'll take my fish. I'll take my dish. Grateful Dead Fish sounds awesome. See, I'm also working on a DJ act. Like I have this idea for a DJ act that steals all the great riffs out of rock songs. So like you Baba O'Reilly, you have sorry, got carried away. Fed, Fish and Dead. Marjane works in local politics. We decided not to do any parades in our town on the 20th. Not worth it. We won. Well, what town are you in that they would think about doing a parade there, Marjane? I'm just saying. It's Mary Jane, isn't it? Yeah, I see the eye there. Mary Jane, where is it? What would you be doing there? What town is that? Kevin Mazur, can't wait. Yes, we had a great jam at Mazur's house this year. I'm ready to go back. We're going to be on tour this summer because no one else is. I'm going to take my guitar on the road. We're going to free some souls because we all need the music. We all need the music. Oh, you're near Asheville. North Carolina. So North Carolina, they're letting people congregate and stuff like that? Asheville's North Carolina, right? Or is Asheville South Carolina? North Carolina, right? I'm right, aren't I? Are they letting people congregate? Can people get around? Yes. I am good friends with Teresa and Paul Murin. I know Paul really well. Played with him before. He's a great guy. Dead Fish Orchestra. Love that. Guys are great. They played it all too. I love it all. I just love good music. I love fun music, and I just want to dance. Zorn still in there. He's waiting for me to spontaneously combust on screen today. Waiting for my head to explode. Waiting for it all to come out. I should really check the headlines because stuff is happening so fast right now that in the middle of the show, House Majority Leader told members there will be heightened security around the Capitol for the vote. Oh, yes, because they're worried about voting and what's going to happen if they bring in the 25th or what happens if and everybody goes nuts. Like people are going to be really mad if they impeach him now. If you impeach him now, we're going to be really, really mad. Well, they can impeach him and they do the House vote, but then they have to wait until the 19th or 20th to do the Senate vote. And the 20th, I believe, is when the new senators start. So then it'll be a Democratic majority. Yes, only 50-50 and you need 2/3. I got it. I hear you. But there's some pissed off senators out there. They all had guns to their heads pretty much in there. They kind of got it. And now that they're watching every day, seeing new footage come out, seeing what happened, the one officer died and then his friend killed himself because he just couldn't take it. I mean, so now you have two Capitol Hill policemen that have died because of this, one on site and one afterwards from the mental abuse and the stress. It couldn't get much sadder, right? Asheville is correct. Rural areas outside, no mass truck driving, 45 flags, etc. Yes, I guess so. Let's see, Rutherfordton, big religious cult, 40 fans there. The world. What are you doing out there? It sounds like you need to get out of your little house there, your house out there in the country, and you're not on their side. They could be coming. Hey, Mary Jane, knock knock. Yeah, do a publicity stunt. Not me. I'm not doing any publicity stunt. This is it right here. There's going to be no stunts from Kravitz. I'm not a stunt. I don't do my own stunts. I always bring in a stunt guy. I get hurt. I get flesh wounds, My motto in 2021 is flesh wounds only. So I'm not going to be doing any excessive stunting, but I will be here. This is going to be as far as I go. This is going to be as far as the limb as I go, just opinionating with you. Elizabeth G., a Trump rioter, was arrested after his ex-wife identified him and turned him in. It's kind of poetic, really. I mean, can you imagine? Like, a lot of marriages break up and they're really ugly, and the people don't get along, and there you are, you see your ex breaking the law, and you're like, this is time for my revenge. Revenge is a dessert, or is best served cold. A dessert best served cold? Asheville's expensive. Yes. I got it. They should be pissed. There is no unity without accountability, and we just witnessed domestic. You're right. We should go in there and we should take care of it and do it for the right thing. And the fact that they were like, oh, you have to let this go. All the the senators crying, don't impeach the president. He's out in 10 days. Just let him go. No, we don't want him back. We want him out. We want his family out. They're all in collusion. They all colluded. I've never seen anything like it. They're so corrupt. And it was just like they relished it in their corruption too. It wasn't like they were like, So, yeah. So you're married. Your wife sees you with your helmet on and all your regalia. And she's like, hello, FBI. Yeah, that's my husband there. That's my ex-husband. I'd know him anywhere. Go get that fat fuck. And they did. They got him. They're going to get him. They're going to get all of them. They're arresting them already. And then they're already out on bail and posting like the guy with the horns. What's his name? The out-of-work actor. The out-of-work actor with the horns who lives with mom. Mom has got to be disappointed in son. And especially if he ends up going to jail and then he's not there to be with her. I mean, a lot of these people had careers. One guy was in Hawaii. And he was in Hawaii and he went there for 24 hours to Washington just to go in there and bust some heads, walk around the Capitol, take some selfies. And then he went back to Hawaii where they went to his house and arrested him. You live in Hawaii, dude. You've got a great life. To say that the United States is not working for you and doing enough for you and this isn't great and your life sucks because you're the president. You live in freaking Hawaii. You're a businessman. Now you're going to hopefully have a jail cell somewhere. Let us pray. The Jamiroquai, there you go. The Jamiroquai, dude. No, he actually had to come out and tell everybody it wasn't him. Pretty crazy. You know what, Whistle? I mean, you grew up black. I mean, you still are in New Orleans. So you had to deal with this racism all your life in a place where they're very intolerant, but at the same time, you have your own culture within it. And within the other cities in America, this has been a thing. And to watch what happened, to watch the police not come, to watch help not show up. I was watching TV and why wasn't anybody going to help them? How come these Capitol policemen had to be outnumbered like that? And it was all by design. This was all part of the plot. And it's all part of the reason that our president has to go because he's the one behind it. That these orders had to come from down on high, that there were certain people in there. And you got to think that in all these military operations and all these police departments, and even in the Capitol Hill police departments, the racism runs riot. And that all these guys are probably members of the Klan or members of all these racist groups. And their job is to pretty much make sure that white supremacy rules, that the black vote is suppressed. And they've done an amazing job for the past 200 years. But you know what? It's all coming to an end now, and they know it. And this is what they're all fighting about because they could see the end coming. They could see what's going to happen when they can't suppress the vote, when everybody has the right to vote. We get rid of the Electoral College. You get rid of the Electoral College, there will not be another Republican in office ever again in the president's slot. So you get rid of the Electoral College, it's going to be popular vote. There you go. There's California. Boom, every election. So virtual insanity is the theme of 21. Think about what's happened in the first 11 days now of 2021. Every day from Kanye and Kim Ye getting divorced to Dr. Dre having an aneurysm because he found out the wife found $300 million to his house getting robbed that night. We are in escalation mode. And everything you can see is escalating. And I don't want to say that that's the theme of 2021. I was hoping we were coming in this year to de-escalate, especially the COVID, and especially our politics, and to get back to going out. But one thing I read in the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction when I was reading about that and this great reset and all these things that have happened this year was that the dawning of the age of Aquarius was that it's not going to be walk in the park to get to this life of light and understanding and acceptance and tolerance. This isn't going to be an easy walk in the park. There's going to be a lot of pain involved with it. And we're seeing that pain. And that's what we saw last Wednesday is the growing pains to get to the age of Aquarius, to get to the cosmic love and understanding where we can all eat LSD on the beach and go swimming and naked and dancing to the Grateful Dead all night. Sorry, that's just me personally. Thank you, Whistle. Thank you, Georgia. Yes, Thank you, Georgia. I mean, yes, it fell down to Georgia to do it. And that was Herculean what went on down there. Stacey Abrams and all the wonderful ladies down there that did a phenomenal job of marshaling the troops and getting people involved and getting people to vote. It shows what happens when you get rid of voter suppression and when you allow people to vote and encourage people to vote. What's happened. So Grump needs to be impeached, benefits for the office stripped, and thrown in jail. Couldn't agree more. I don't care where you throw him. Just put him in isolation. Give him to Russia. There's a documentary exposing the white supremacists that have infiltrated the police force. Yes. Well, the police were created to capture slaves. That was the original reason they had police forces in America, was to go get the slaves. And now, and they have never stopped. They've just stay on the same mission at all times. It's not virtual insanity. It is literal, Ben Spivak, literal insanity. We're all going through it. It's going to take a long time for this country to move forward together. And I get that and I can understand that. And I really feel that that's the only way that we can make real change is if it is painful and it pushes us all out the other side and we start locking up all these crazy people that didn't get proper educations. It's kind of really not their fault. You know, we let them down as a society, you know, letting them believe these things and letting them not be educated. So it's really, really harsh. She should be the time person of 2021, and she should be up there running for a major office. And, you know, if you think about Stacey Abrams, it's a damn good thing she didn't become governor because, man, it just set her on fire. And look where we are now. And like I said earlier on the show, and a theme I've had all along is that Trump did make America great again by being a complete fucking moron and allowing us to have the Senate and the House and the presidency. Us, the blue team, sensibility. I know a lot of my friends, family out there might support Republicans. I ultimately would love to be a Republican, but it's just not what they are reflecting is not where my head is. So I would be willing to listen if they had arguments or they had something that was embracing of society and a plan. But if their plan is just to keep the old white rich guys in charge and to suppress every other race and nationality in the world, I am not with it. All love, always. Leroy and Ike Richmond right behind him. Love will carry us through. Quoting our boy Trey Anastasio. Great interview today in Polestar with Trey and Patrick Jordan and Pete Pirro and all our friends on how they put out the Beacon shows and what it was like to do that. It was a great read. You know, I'm reading it all now. Music. I'm reading about the revolution. I'm reading about the parlor going nuts and all this information dump that's coming there. The parlor hack. I mean, these guys were fast. They hacked it. As soon as they had a little opening there, they saw what was happening with the server, and the server was unprotected. They bopped in there, made an account, became administrators, got all the information. Yes, Stacey Abrams, amazing. Love will carry us through. I guess that's kind of where we are. And it's the only thing really that we can spread around is the love and you have to do it by the phone and by messages because you're not supposed to really be with each other right now. These numbers are absolutely insane in the middle of all of this. The fact that all these tens of thousands of people are going out to Washington to protest in the street without masks is kind of nuts. So yes, so time for a change for the better. I agree. We all feel it. You could feel the change coming, and I felt it coming a couple months ago. And when I woke up last Wednesday after that election on Tuesday, I had this crazy sense of hope. I breathed a little bit easier that morning. It wasn't going to last all day, but that's part of it. It's going to be this, up and down. It's going to be like the stock market. It's going to be like the Bitcoin. It's going to be 40,000 to 30,000 to 20,000 to 30,000 to 40,000 to 60,000 to 20,000. It's going to be a roller coaster, and we're all just going to have to buckle up and hold on tight because we're heading in, and we're all going to head in together, and we're going to elevate each other, and we're going to elevate our world. And when we do come out of this, when we are looking back at this in another year, we will understand that everything had to happen the way it happened, the good, the bad, the ugly. These are all necessary parts. I don't want to say that death and destruction are necessary for us to move forward, but obviously they are, because these are the things that our senators saw where they were like, oh, this is what's happening when I preach hate, when I preach rhetoric. And the fact that all of our Democratic House members are going after the Republican House members that voted against this election. I mean, you had more than enough chance to find fraud and to find some way that this election was not correct. And it was there was nothing. And you guys hitched your thing on to Donald Trump because you didn't want to get bad tweeted. Well, guess what? Donald Trump doesn't have Twitter anymore. It's time for everybody to grow a pair of balls and step up and not worry about some bully calling you out, because that's all he is a bully. And the fact that you didn't have balls the first time and you were so worried about your career that you didn't want to stand up for what's right, and instead you stood up for him, that's your fault. It's not my fault. It's your fault. We make the decisions. We make our own beds. We choose our sides. And if you chose the wrong side, well, I'm sorry. I hope you didn't put your life savings on it and bet on it. So, Elizabeth, yes, they are the MAGAs and COVID denial, even as they take their last breath while being put on the ventilator. It's true. I've read a lot about that, where people are so in denial about this. I'm not dying of COVID. Call your son and say goodbye. Call your daughter. Call your wife and say goodbye. No. This isn't COVID. I'm not dying. You're dead. Send love, light, positive vibes, and blessings to the world. I mean, it's kind of what it's all about, folks. It's why we're here. The positive messages. We have to keep on forging forward. We're going to forge forward together. I've been here almost 200 hours coming to you live since this pandemic started. My mom says, boy, that's a lot of hot air. But this is how I was raised. It's the way my dad paid to feed his family and to get us through school, was by being a talk show host. And now I'm here talking till I can be out there taking photographs again and bringing you everybody having fun. So it's been painful, but we have a lot of work to do. No one is going back to the 50s like Trump wanted. Yes, I want to know what kind of America, what vision of America is he making great again? We're going to find out. It's going to be a couple years down the line. 200, Rick. Wow. Thank you all for your patience, your love. I have a couple sponsors I need to talk about right here because we are coming to the end of our time. I feel like I could go all day today. Sin Lawn, synthetic lawn. You've heard it here first, folks. If you're in California, you should not be feeding your lawns water. Sin Lawn's going to look better than anything you can grow unless you're the Empire Polo Fields and watering your lawns to death. Get on Sinlawn, sinlawn.com, 420 live. Get your synthetic lawn products. They'll send you a little sample and you can make like a little toupee. If you want to be kid and play, do a beard kind of thing here. Get a Sin Lawn. We'll send you some samples. Environmentally friendly, because you want to have environmentally friendly. You don't want to have environmentally unfriendly synthetic lawns. And Grady's Cold Brew, our friends at Grady's Cold Brew have a 20% off discount coupon for you with the 420 live code. Remember this, Ike? Pinky, my dad, Pinky would hold he had shoe sponsors and he put the shoe on his shoulder because he couldn't get his foot over his head. But me, I've been taking yoga and I'm going to get my foot overhead. Grady's Cold Brew Kit, 36 cups of coffee. You can get the Cold Brew Kit, your handy little nozzle there. You can just drink it right out of the bag. Grady's, you want to stay awake? You want to keep everything going? There you go. There's my sponsors for the day. Thank you, Leroy, for your time and energy. Everybody, I not long ago found your show. You deserve a huge audience. Thank you. This isn't a numbers game. I'm not here for the numbers. I'm here to keep myself sane. That's what this is all about. This is an exercise in Kravitz's sanity. And in keeping myself sane, I hope to keep you guys all sane. We will be back here tomorrow. The hour went really quick. Usually I'm sitting here wondering what the fuck to talk about, but obviously things are changing so fast in our life that there's no shortage of things to share and to talk about with you guys. Thank you so much for commenting and coming in along, and all my new fans that came in on the Noel Castle show and all my old fans, what it's all about is peace, love, and happiness to everybody out there. Here's a big hug. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 4:20 EST, Eastern Standard Time. And big week, show 200 coming up. Big party on Thursday. Thank you, everybody. We will see you all later. Peace out.